Hi, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to Healthy Mind and Body. I'm Dominic Byrne, and again, here with my co-partner, Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening.
I'd like to say Happy New Year to everybody, but I haven't started off very well, has it? We all go back into another lockdown number 3. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, actually. We didn't realise that we're going to be in a lockdown this time last week, but we knew the restrictions were going to get tougher. So this took us a little bit by surprise, which means the people that were going to be our 3 volunteers that we're going to be treating for their weight problem with our weight management program will now need to be done online. But that's okay. It'll still be going up on YouTube so that you, the public, can watch their progress over 6 weeks as their weight falls off them and their confidence increases. So something to look forward to. We'll be talking more about that next week. So tonight, it's very much about talking about how to cope with lockdown. And I think for me, the different this time, and I don't know about yourself, Elizabeth, but it's the number 3 now, so we kind of know what to expect. Right? Where the first one was a shock to the system. It's a generalisation, but I think I'm talking on behalf of most people here, that lockdown number 1 was a big shock to the system. It was something we'd never experienced before, and it was a pretty tough time for most of us. That doesn't mean that this one's going to be any easier, but I think on a mental level, for a lot of people, because we know what to expect this time, and hopefully, please God, that this is going to be the last one now that the vaccine's being rolled out. And so come spring, early summertime, everything should be back to some sort of normality. We can hope anyway. Yeah, absolutely. And so I've got to get my hair cut just before Christmas. But I thought, no, I'll wait for the beginning of the new year. What a mistake that was. And now I'm not going to get my hair cut for a few months now. So as these live streams go on, you'll see my hair getting more messier and longer. But I make no apology for that. Blame the government for that. No, blame COVID for that. So Elizabeth, what kind of tips have you got for people coping with this lockdown number 3?
Yes, it's a bit of a strain on all of us, I feel, that we are, instead of starting a new year with feeling positive and that we're moving forward, in some respects, it feels like a step back. But of course, we have got to protect the National Health Service, and we have got to be sensible, and we have got to keep safe, as safe as we possibly can. Some of the things that I found really helpful in the first lockdown was mainly getting outside and doing some form of exercise. And I would really recommend that to you all, to get into the habit of getting outside. I know it's cold, wrap up warm and just get out there, because immediately we move out of our 4 walls, it makes us feel better. And although it's winter, there's still a lot of beauty to be seen in nature in winter. Winter has its own beauty, and if you look closely, you can see the trees are already got their buds there. So we have got the spring to look forward to. Without a shadow of a doubt, come March, then everything will be starting to spring into life again. But this winter time, there's still lots of lovely things to see outdoors. The point about exercise is it's so good for our health. Exercise can lower your blood pressure. It helps insulin efficiency. We talked last week a bit about insulin, the importance of having it. It helps us balance our blood sugar level in the body. And when we exercise, it helps improve the efficiency of the use of insulin in the body. Also, exercise is extremely good for our digestive system. It helps us become more regular. And that's so important. You know, we are what they call, we're a constipated nation. I think the average elimination is once every 3 days in this country. Maybe it's because we're all so uptight, but it's important. Exercise really helps improve that. Also, exercise is great for your skin and your overall general health. You look better and you will feel so much better. It enhances your mood. It releases endorphins. So any form of exercise is going to be a benefit during this lockdown. And I'd really encourage you to get out there. And as I always say, move that body. We were born to move.
Yeah. I mean, walking is a great exercise, and but also cycling. I mean, one thing that happened in the first lockdown was so many more people went out and bought bikes or got their bikes out of the garage again for the first time for a long time, and cycling became a real big form of exercise and hobby from the first lockdown. So that's another thing to do. I
tend to pull on bikes, Dominic.
Yeah, but I'm saying those that want to got a bike, want to go out cycling, that's another form of exercise. Haven't got to be walking.
Yeah.
So if you've got a bike, get out on it and cycle. You know, and the road are going to be pretty clear now because there's not going to be so much traffic on the road.
Yeah, that's a bit.
So, but one of the things I do, and way before COVID, when I used to go out cycling a lot then, is cycle down by the canal. You know, it's again, it's beautiful, it's great, it's flat, and it's really good form of exercise to. So if you can get out and cycle, that's another form of exercise to do. And unlike the first lockdown, we're not restricted to 1 hour of exercise now. We can go out as many times we want.
I don't think I did restrict myself to 1 hour last time.
I don't think many people did, if it's true. So so exercise, brilliant. Get out more. You were saying, Elizabeth, it's really good. It releases the endorphins in the brain, and it also gives you time to think through and reflect.
Clears your head. You know, I went for a run this morning. The first time I'd run for about 3 weeks. It was really hard, but I felt absolutely wonderful when I got back. Really was pleased that I managed. I did 5.3K, I think. Really pleased I managed it. It was quite slow, but at least I did that. And it did make me feel good, made me feel good about myself that I'd actually done that. And I've set myself some goals that I'm going to run at least twice a week in the new year, and I'm going to go out every day walking. If I'm not running, I'm going to go out walking because, as Dominic just said, walking is a really wonderful form of exercise and it's not difficult to do. Just wrap up warm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, keep warm. And by the way, if anybody want to ask any questions or make any comments, please just type in the chat box and we'll bring them up on the screen and do our best to answer them for you.
Yeah, please ask us questions. It makes us know you're there.
Okay, and the other thing I say is make the time now to learn something new. If you're going to, when you're not out exercising and you're at home, utilize the time. You know, it's, the wonderful thing about the internet is that there's so many free courses out there that you can do. anything that you're interested in, I can assure you, you will find some form of course on it.
Yeah.
Out there on the internet, certainly on YouTube. You know, it's get into the habit of every day for an hour or so, just learning something new that you've got an interest in. You know, it's one of the things I did in the last lockdown was I learned a new piece of software that I've been wanting to learn for a long time, and so one of the things I did was utilize that time to learn it. You know, I gave myself permission because there wasn't a lot else to do.
Yeah.
So utilize your time, utilize it where you've got your exercise in the brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's all very well exercising the body. That is so important, but we also need to keep the brain exercise stimulated. And one of the things we're doing that is learn a new subject.
Yeah, one of my closest friends is French, and she, as I sort of promised her years ago, I would learn French. I did a little bit at school, but wasn't very competent at it. So I did start with a Babel course in the first lockdown, and I'm really delighted that they've sent me a special offer. And I thought, yes, okay, I'll go back and learn, start learning French again. I think that would be really good for me.
Yeah, learn another language, brilliant idea.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this lockdown goes on to going to be at least 6 weeks. So if you spent an hour or two every day just learning a new language, by the end of that 6 weeks, it's you should be able to put a few sentences together. You know,
I'm not going to embarrass myself though by practicing on this.
Yeah. It's funny how when people go abroad or whatever, they learn a little bit of the lingo, but they always seem to learn the bad words, the swear words. You know.
You mean how to order the wine, etc., Dominic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, even I can understand.
Yeah. Okay, so what another tip you got?
I think one of the things that make time to sort of be kind to yourself and pamper yourself a little, because we do have this extra time. So why not, spend half an hour in the bath and light the candles and relax and be kind to yourself. I mean, I think it's something you often say, Dominic, about, it's important. We want to be kind all the time, of course, to everyone, but being kind to ourselves is sometimes more difficult. Somehow, we beat ourselves up. We have this little gremlin on our shoulder that tells us we're rubbish at everything. I'm sure that a lot of you listening to this will agree with that. I know that I'm very critical of myself. So learn to be a bit kinder to yourself, and why not pamper yourself? Buy yourself one of those foot baths and treat your feet to a nice massage, and really start looking after yourself and thinking about your own health and well-being. One of my other goals for this year is I'm going to do a mindfulness course. I haven't got the date for that yet, but I've put my name down for it, and I'm really looking forward to that. I did do one at college a couple of years ago, but that sort of thing, it's good to reinforce it all the time, because it's so good for our overall well-being when we're sort of finding peace within ourselves. Perhaps do some meditation, as Dominic said. There are lots of courses online. So meditation is another way of sort of becoming more at peace with yourself and being kind to yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. And the other thing, have hope.
Yeah. Have
hope. Hope it's a very powerful emotion.
Yeah, definitely.
Hope can get us through the darkest moments.
Indeed.
And it's I'm not talking about hope like I hope my wife remembered to put the rubbish out, or I hope my wife got my dinner ready when I get home. I'll get into a lot of trouble if I thought that anyway. Not that I'm married, but I would get into trouble if I was thinking like that. But I'm not talking about hope like that. I'm talking about general hope hope that, that we are going to get through this. There is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
We are going to come through this. Because hope is a very powerful emotion to have. And if without hope, we've got no hope, hope. And as I said a moment ago, and I'll repeat this, hope can get us through the darkest moments.
Absolutely.
And that can be meditation. You can go and just meditate, pray, whatever, or just go within yourself and focus on getting through this and things getting better.
Yes.
I
think hope's a great word anyway. But I agree totally with you, Dominic, about being hopeful. I think the idea, and it's one of the things I'm focusing on, is that the spring will be here before, another few weeks, get January out of the way into February. Already I can see bulbs coming up in the garden. So that's a wonderful thing to focus on, is we will have the spring and we will get through this. We will get over COVID. We've got the vaccine now, and before too long, I'm sure that, as Dominic said, there is light at the end of the tunnel, that we will come out of this, and hopefully this is the last lockdown. One of the things about hope that I found helpful is that I do a gratitude diary. So every day, the first thing I do in the morning is I write 3 things that I'm grateful for. And I found that's really been helpful during lockdown, because it's sort of moving your mind into the positive things about your life, the things that you are grateful for your family, for your friends. I mean, we have great technology now. We can do Zoom, we can do Skype, we can do this StreamYard. So we're so fortunate that at least we can keep those contacts, and it's an opportunity as well of getting in touch with people perhaps you lost touch with. Why not ring people and say, how are you doing? It's an opportunity to check out with people that, we're all living such a busy world. We often lose touch with people that we're really fond of. So it gives us a little bit more time to do that as well. I think it's quite helpful. But think about doing, during lockdown, think about doing a gratitude diary. I think that's a really positive thing to do. It's really helped me an awful lot.
Yeah, really good. Yeah. And it's important, as you just said, to keep in contact with people, because, there is a lot of loneliness out there, and people, and so pick up the phone, or, give someone a call, and just have a chat, just that 10-minute, half an hour chat with someone can go a long way.
Absolutely.
And not just make them feel better, it can make you feel better as well. And one of the things we've been saying from the very first lockdown, keep talking.
Yeah.
Very important to keep talking.
Keep talking.
It's very important for one's mental health and one's mental well-being. And so it's vitally important to keep talking. And like you said, Elizabeth, get in contact with people and catch up with people. I mean, I'm sure we'd already done that previously, but as time gone by and we came out of the first lockdown, things got better over the summer. We'd never gone back into even in that last lockdown in December. It was only for a month, and this is probably, I feel, going to go on a lot longer with this new type of COVID out there. So keep talking to people, and could not only helping them, you're helping yourself.
I couldn't agree more. I don't want to say absolutely again. What is it with absolutely, Dominic? It seems to be our word of the moment.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. The other thing I was thinking that really is helpful and a great way of escaping everyday life, which can be tedious at the moment, is reading. I did read a lot of books last year. I've always been quite an avid reader, But one of the books that sticks in my mind and that I would highly recommend is I read The Salt Pass by Raynor Winn. And if you haven't read it, I could recommend it, especially at the moment, because it's about a young couple, and it's not that young, actually. I think they're in their 50s. And they lost everything. I won't spoil the story, but they lost everything, and it's their journey, and it's such an empowering story. It shows the strength of human resolve, and I read the last chapter. I think I read it. I've never done this before with any other book, but I read the last couple of pages of that book about 3 times. It was just so inspiring and so touching. So reading.
Are you getting commission on this book?
No.
Are they paying you commission?
No, but I would highly recommend it, and a wonderful form of escape. Any type of reading. I've been doing a lot of reading about spiritual matters over the last few weeks. But I have some of my Christmas presents have been novels, and I'm really looking forward to escaping into a good read. So I think that's during lockdown. It's really helpful.
Absolutely, yeah. I couldn't agree more. And moving on from that, similar. If you're going to watch TV, which is what things that make you laugh.
Yeah.
Move away from dark stuff and miserable stuff and depressing stuff. There's so much of it out there on TV these days. What things that make you laugh? Get put comedy shows on, or get your old DVD collection out again and find the funny movies that make you laugh, because laughter is the key to the soul. It really is. It changed our state like that. It's just a wonderful thing to do. Laughter is. So yeah, get laughing more. Watch funny stuff. The other thing, you put music on, but good music, upbeat music that gets your body moving. It again puts you in a good state, and again, it's a good form of exercise.
Dance around the kitchen. I often have a little jig around the kitchen. I love to dance, and of course, there's been no opportunities really, no parties. I'm a party animal, and it's been very frustrating for me. I've hardly drank any champagne this Christmas, and I haven't partied and I haven't danced, and I thought the only dancing I've been doing is on my own.
Why not? Enjoy your own company. And again, because you're alone doesn't mean you've got to be down or miserable. Again, find interesting things to do. Either find a new subject that you'd like to learn about and study that, or a new language to learn, or anything. What thing that makes you feel good, that makes you laugh. Play good music that uplift your state of mind and get you moving and dancing. These are all little things that we can do. And the other thing I've got to say is that continue to do your normal things. And what I mean by that is continue to get up at the same time in the morning.
Have a routine.
Whatever, just because we're locked down, you're not working now, you're not taking the kids to school or whatever, continue to get up at the same time in the morning. One of the biggest things that can lead to depression is stopping in bed all day. Because staying in bed is not good for us.
No.
We need to keep the mind active and the body active. Okay? And just because we're in lockdown doesn't mean you can't do that. We're just giving you some of our ideas. There's a lot more out there,
of course,
that you can do to keep your mind and body active. But one thing is for sure, continue to get up at your normal time. Don't stop in bed.
I think music's one of the quickest ways of sort of lifting your mood. If you play your favorite record, play some sort of dance music, it just lifts you almost immediately. So I agree with you there. Music's really good. I'm part of a singing group where it's we're still on Christmas break at the moment, but we're going back. It's all on Zoom. It's not perfect, but there's quite a decent group of us. I think there's 20 to 25 of us now. It's called Singing for Fun. And I really love that. We do, we sing some funny songs, all ranging from, we did Jingle Bells and all sorts of Christmas things that was really good fun. But we sing African songs as well. We've sang a Hungarian song, and we just have good fun doing that. And it's a way of meeting with a group of people. So just because we have to be at home and try and keep ourselves isolated from other people doesn't mean that we can't still relate by joining these meetings. Wednesdays I run Tea and Positivity at 2:00. If anyone's interested in learning more about that, just let us know. And that's a great way of just having a little discussion about all sorts of things and being sociable. We can be sociable via technology, which is wonderful.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I hope that we've given you some hope of how to cope with this lockdown, some ideas how to get through it in a positive way. There's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. The vaccine is there now. It's been rolled out, and we will get through this together. And as I said, keep don't let go of that hope, and keep your mind active, keep your body active, and hopefully this time next year we will be looking back and talking about how we got through it.
That's right.
How we did get through it. Okay, so please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please like the video, and please share it. Because we're going to be doing these live streams every week, and we'll be talking about different things. And one of the things that we are working on, as many of you know, is the weight management program. We've got the 3 volunteers, so that's going to be on YouTube every week. Their progress, what we do with them. So be part of that journey and watch how their weight come off them and how their confidence will improve. So so that's it from me. What about you, Elizabeth? Got any more final words, thoughts?
Yes, well,
to say before we go?
Very much looking forward to starting our weight management program. I do hope tonight it's been helpful, and just want to say to you, stay safe and stay healthy, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Absolutely. We'll all do this together, get through this together, stick to the rules. We'd all do that, then hopefully this will be the last lockdown.
Yeah.
And that light at the end of the tunnel will be a lot closer.
Yeah.
So great. Okay, well, whatever you're doing for the rest of the evening or day, wherever you're watching, have a good day, evening, and we'll be back again next week. Same time, same place. Until then, be good, be kind to yourself. See you next week. Goodbye from me.
It's goodbye for me. Have a nice evening.
Bye.